get to work, and I'ma gauge my progress by the sign of the word. Now I ain't yet a success, but yes, the word that I stress, cause by the time you hear the CD, count the steps that I've
It's a new dawn, it's a new day, and you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, it's a new way for me. And I'm feeling good. Ba-now, ba-now, ba-now. I'm feeling good. And heck yeah, it's a new dawn. It's a new day, right? Listen, this is season 2, episode 1 of Make It Happen Mondays, right? And I'm blessed to be able to have taken this far. You know what I'm saying? And I intend on taking it even farther, right? Because check it out. About a year ago, right? About a year ago today, I sat there and I was talking to some people and they was like, yo, Pablo, man, I'm telling you, you inspirational, man. And you got this thing about you where you're just motivational. And if people understood where you came from to where you are today, that would be motivating and inspiring right within itself, right? So I started looking around at the internet and seeing what other people was doing and all that, right? Because everybody's telling me I should do it. So I started out just doing it right there on my treadmill and on my bike and all that, and I would just give little messages. Then I moved outside into my driveway and I started doing it, right? And then all of that made way for Make It Happen Mondays. And now here we are, right? And I'm a year into it. And out of 52.2 weeks in a year, right? We got 37 Make It Happen Mondays in the bag, right? So out of total 52, and we wasn't even sure what we was going to do with this, right? But we got Make It Happen Mondays. We did 37 out of 52, right? So again, I looked at back as reflecting, you know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you right now, this new season, I'm looking to break out even more than 37, right? Maybe we can knock out the whole 52.2, right? But I'm telling you, we got some plans going on in the Watch Me Make It Happen headquarters, you know what I'm saying? To where we're going to be doing some things, right? And I don't want to let too much out of the bag, right? Because we just started season 2, right? So, but check it, I did reflect, you see what I'm saying? And I thought about it and I started thinking to myself like, if my original intent and my original purpose was to perpetuate positivity, which it was and still is, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me measure that. Let me see if I was able to perpetuate positivity, right, by measuring impact, right? And now, of course, because I'm here on social media, everybody be looking at likes or shares or subscriptions and all that, you know what I'm saying? And at first I was like, is that what I'm really going for? You know what I'm saying? Because like that seems superficial to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't really care how many likes I have. I don't really care how many subscriptions I have. I mean, I get it that is kind of an indication of how many people that I'm reaching, right? But I don't necessarily see it that way. You know what I'm saying? What I like is when people reach out and they text me, when they send messages, when they DM me or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Those are the type of things that I like and the stories that I hear, right? So as far as impact go, as far as perpetuating positivity, I wanted to share a little story from somebody who's in the Watch Me Make It Happen movement, right? So we was talking about impact, right? And they asked me, they said, let me ask you, you know, how does that feel that you don't have that many subscribers? You know what I'm saying? Why don't you ask for subscribers? And I told him, I said, I did do that in the beginning, but like, again, it just felt fake for me. You know what I mean? Cause that ain't me. You know what I'm saying? That ain't me. I literally want to perpetuate positivity. You know what I'm saying? So I told this person, I said, listen, you know, for me, it's about impact. And I don't necessarily know how much impact I'm making, but I'm gonna keep on going because that's the type of person that I am, right? Is I want to keep perpetuating positivity in the world. So this person continued to talk to me and they say, yo, Pablo, man, check this out. I want you to know that your impact is greater than the number of subscribers that you got. And I said, well, thank you, right? But what do you mean the impact? I'm sure that people who ain't subscribed or following me, I'm sure they see my video every once in a while, you know what I'm saying? Because it pops up in some algorithm or whatever, right? But how do you know that I'm making that impact that you're talking about, right? He was like, my man, check this out. So he said, you said something about faith in one of your Make It Happen Mondays, right? And it touched me. Now, the cool thing is this person was a different faith, had a different faith than the faith that I have. And over the course of time, he's been kind of exploring, not because of me, on his own. I didn't even know this dude before, right? And he started exploring his faith, right? And exploring the faith that is the faith that I have, right? Christianity, right? And he was like, man, it moved him, right? So when he was driving his daughter to school, he ended up having a conversation on that topic and talking about what it is that we talked about on that topic to his daughter, right? And his daughter was like, yo, that's dope, Dad. You know what I'm saying? And she thought it was so cool that when she went into school, she started talking to one of her girlfriends too. Told the girlfriend all about it. They had a good conversation. It moved both of them as well. That girl went back home to her father and started to have that same conversation with her father. And it also moved her father as well. Right? So look we're talking about one person who was actually subscribed to the YouTube channel, right? Who already impacted himself, his daughter's friends, and the father, right? Now, here's where I thought it was beautiful. I mean, all of that I think is beautiful, but here's what it was like the capstone on the whole thing, right? Is that other father called the original father to have an even a greater in-depth conversation than they had with their daughters with the two fathers. I was like, yo, listen, that is what I'm talking about. So I asked, I said, listen, other than the conversation, right? Because I think that's impact right there, right? Anytime there's an opportunity for a father and a daughter to speak, right? I think that's good, especially if it's about something positive, right? And then you got two kind of middle school, high school age girls, right? And they having positive conversations, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's a benefit. And then again, then it started from the daughter rather than, usually it's like the father who's going to start the conversations or initiate the conversations, whatever. The daughter initiated the conversation with the father. I'm like, yo, this is, this is what's up, right? Excuse me, I'm still fighting that cold, right? So I thought that was what's up. Now, if you take that and you just multiply that by all the subscribers or whatever, again, I don't really care, but in my mind, it's giving me that sense of, you know what? You are indeed accomplishing the goal that you had in front of you, and you are perpetuating positivity. So I'm looking back at my year and I'm like, man, that was fantastic. So like I said, we looking forward now. And we adjusting fire, we adding some things, we modifying some things, right? Because again, this is a work in progress. And that's why I keep asking y'all to join the movement. Not because I'm looking for them subscribers or likes or anything like that. Although again, that does help, right? But what I'm looking for is I'm looking to be able to have people's lives change for the better. You see what I'm saying? I want you to join that movement because as I'm growing, you can grow and we can do this together, right? So check it out. I did a whole lot of things and I don't even think I did my intro, right? So check this out. Here we go, about 7 minutes in. My name is Pablo Rivera, and this is another edition of Make It Happen Mondays, right? So check this out. We've been setting up the tools to success this whole entire time, right? We've been setting them up, right? And we began to exercise our vision, right? We identified somebody else who had the outcome it is that we're looking for, right? Whether they achieved it or they just farther along in the process than we are, right? And then after that, we were able to research these people to find out what it is that they do on a daily basis that allows them to have that environment that they can be so successful that they've already or well on their way to reaching the same kind of outcome that we are looking for, right? So I want you to think now, right? Because like I said, we've already been in this 84 days since the beginning of the year, right? Now that's the Happy New Year and everybody had their resolutions, right? But what was ours? Ours was nothing more and nothing less than to be resolute in the pursuit of our goals, right? So that's cool. But now here we go, right? Because we got another little milestone, and that milestone is the seasons change, right? Not the weather seasons, but the Make It Happen Monday season, right? So now here we are in season 2. Let's look back and see if what we've been doing, if what we were supposed to have been doing is actually getting done, right? So I want you to reflect, right? I want you to reflect. So based on those characteristics, based on those daily goals, right, that you were able to extrapolate, right, pull away from, you was able to research and get from those people who have already had the outcome that you want, how good were you at actually accomplishing them, right? For real. I mean, I use something as basic as cleaning your room every day. Since the first, when we became resolute in the pursuit of our goals, how many times have you failed at making your bed in the morning? How many times did you not hit the number of steps that you already planned for yourself? How many times did you not get right with God as soon as you woke up? How many times did you not read that Bible chapter? How many times did you not get in your exercise for that day? How many times did you just have a cheat day, right? That ended up becoming cheat days. You know what I'm saying? Right? You want to reflect on that, right? You want to be able to look at it. And listen, I'm not saying all these things to knock you down. That is not what it's for. Au contraire, mon frère, right? What we want to do is, because I'm all about positivity. You see what I'm saying? Now, I understand that negative things happen, right? And that's understandable, right? But we don't want to become that negativity, right? So we want to be able to find the areas of opportunity within that, what we call negativity, right? So here we go, is that we wanted to lose weight. right? So what we said is we was going to take our number of steps and increase it by 1,000 every month, right? Did you do that? And every day within that month, have you been reaching it? Your daily step goal. And if you haven't, fine, right? Obviously, it ain't a good thing, right? But now that gives us a starting point to be able to explore, right? Cool. Now, before we do that, right? Whatever it is, I use weight loss. It could be looking for a job, and you made the goal of sending your resume into at least 5 different organizations a week, right? 1 for each day of the work week, and you could put in that time and da-da-da. If you haven't been doing that, right? I want us to identify that, and then what we're going to do is we're going to explore why that is, right? But again, before we do that, you can put in whatever your example is on this side. Whatever your example is. You feel me? All right, bet. So now I got a question to ask you, right? As I asked you before, I said, what type of person are you? Are you the type of person, right, that is motivated by not losing, or are you the type of person that's motivated by winning, right? Listen, losing is average. Losing is just getting by. You just scraping by, right? Whereas if you motivated by winning, you performing in a presence of excellence. You see what I'm saying? Right? You see the difference. You see the difference, right? I mean, listen, I know people will tell you all day, a doctor who just passed or a doctor who's on who passed with the dean's list is still a doctor. And you're absolutely right, right? And this is where it comes in, is you want to be able to look at yourself and say, what type of person am I? Right? And you want to be able to identify that. Listen, if you motivated by not losing, fine. By the end of our time together, not necessarily today, but you know, whenever God decides that this is over, you see what I'm saying? I want everybody who's following this page, everybody who listens to this video, I want us to start working towards being motivated by winning. Because what I would like for us to do is I want us to practice in excellence. I want us to live, breathe, eat excellence, right? So that we can then perform in excellence, no matter what that is, okay? So then what I want you to be able to do is I want you to be able to think to yourself, like, all right, what is it that makes things happen in my life? And I had to think about how I wanted to word that, right? Because of what's coming next. What is it that makes things happen in my life, right? Is it me? Is it me? Or is it all the other forces in this world, right? Internal versus external locus of control. Again, you see how I'm starting to bring all of this together, right? Is that we've been doing this all last year. Now here we go. We're gonna bring it all together, right? So internal versus external locus of control. We need to become internal locus of control type people, right? Because I'm telling you what, I understand that there's different type of people and maybe I'm trying to push everybody into one, right? But like I said last week, is if you're in this rut, if you're in a situation where you need to change, you can't continue to do the same things that you've been doing. You need to change them, right? So if you are an external locus of control type person, we need to work on that, right? We need to work on that. Because everything is going to land on us. In order for us to be able to change, in order for us to be able to witness that change, to experience that change, to find the outcome it is that we wanted, right? To become the type of person that we want to be, we need to be able to take that responsibility on ourselves and only ourselves, right? Now, I know some of y'all going to sit here and be like, you know, I'm battling with cancer. How is it that that's an internal locus of control? How am I going to just rid myself of this cancer, right? I get it. And the reason why I pick cancer is because that's probably one of the most sensitive things, right? Death, life, health. You see what I'm saying? And people are going to sit there and say, well, what is it that I could do? I'm taking chemo, or I decided not to take chemo. I'm doing this all natural. Whatever it is, right? Whatever it is. I'm not sitting here saying that your mind will remove all cancer from your body. Although I know that there have been studies about the mind being able to do things like that. I just don't know enough about it to be able to speak on it, right? But what I will say is that you might not be able to do something with the cancer, but what you can do is control your mindsets and your actions that come after that information. You see what I'm saying? Because you're controlling yourself, right? I had a friend who had, I believe it was lymphoma. It was either leukemia lymphoma. I found out when I was doing a triathlon for leukemia lymphoma. And I was like, hey, my man, you ever know anybody? He was like, yeah, me. It was almost to his bone, right? And I was like, yo, this is crazy. Had it, or was it in his bone and only made it to the bloodstream? I can't remember, but it was years ago that he told me about this, right? But he had it, right? And this dude, he went on to everything all natural, changed his deodorant. Listen, and I'm talking about years ago. My man got like 15, I believe 10 years on me, you know what I'm saying? Maybe more, but But bottom line is that this wasn't when vegan and whatever, all natural, holistic medicine, that wasn't like the trend. You know what I mean? Like right now, everywhere you go, you see vegan or organic, non-GMO, all this other stuff, right? My man had to order this stuff from like China and all these other places, right? In order to be able to get the proper vitamins without any extra additives and fillers. My man said, I'm going to take control of this. You see what I'm saying? And he beat it. He don't got it no more. Like, to me, that's crazy. You see what I'm saying? Because you got other people on the other side who was like, the world is just getting me. I got cancer. It's all over with. Boom, and they gone. I know that this is not, it don't happen all the time when somebody decides to take it upon themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because why? Like I said, God got other plans for us sometimes. You see what I'm saying? But when we're here, we should be able to do everything it is that we can do in order to be able to be fruitful and multiply and all these other things that God told us to do, right? Bet. So, now, what I'm saying is we need to be in that internal locus of control, right? Whatever it is. And again, I hope that we're not talking about things as bad as cancer, but if we are, it applies. It applies. But what I'm talking about right now specifically, that does apply. But what I'm more focusing on is the goals that we have in our life as far as becoming more successful, as far as being more productive, right? Like I said, I got people who was just looking to be renewed, get renewed focus or renewed within their faith, right? Or some people, they was like, yo, I'm motivated as anything, but I just need that direction. You see what I'm saying? Or I need to get a job. Or like I said, we need to lose weight, whatever it is, right? So cool. Internal locus of control. So what I want you to do now, remember I already told you, is I wanted you to look at all those tasks and them characteristics that you had, that you was like, yo, if I do these things, I'm going to be like that person or those people who I researched and get the outcome it is that they have, because that's the outcome I'm looking for. And the way I'm going to do that is by adopting those characteristics and those tasks and those routines that they do, right? So we identified them. Then I told you to take all those things that you have to do and put them in a task list, and all the things that you want to do, right? All them other characteristics and tasks that those people who yield the outcome that you're looking for do, put them in your task list. Then prioritize them and then do them, right? So what I'm asking about now is, what about those things that you didn't do, right? I want you to be able to reflect on them. And seriously, I want you to look in yourself and I want you to write it down. Why is it that you didn't do this? Why didn't you make your bed on March 10th? Why didn't you? What happened on March 10th that prevented you from doing your making your bed, right? Why is it that once again you didn't do your homework? Right? Why is it that you didn't do that? What was the environment? What was going on in your mind? What happened? What were some external factors? What are some internal factors, right? I'm not saying that external factors don't exist. I'm talking about you're in control of the way it is that you respond to those external factors. You see what I'm saying? Because it's an internal locus of control. And that's the homework right there. I'm telling you right now, that's the homework assignment. I want you to be able to look at everything it is that you didn't do and then come up with the reason internally about you, right, of why it is that it didn't happen. Why is it that I'm saying that? It's because I don't want y'all to get lost in the sauce of sitting here saying, well, this person or that person or this thing or whatever, right? Because it's about you. If something wasn't open that day, fine, then you messed up because you didn't plan on going a different day when it was open. You didn't do the due diligence to find out when it is that business or whatever it is was open so that you can go ahead and do what it is that you was trying to do, right? Listen, man, I'm telling you right now is that there is going to be 1,000,001 excuses that you can take and say, this is the reason why. Until you rip all that up. I mean, you need to take that he did or she did, or it's because that person or that thing, you need to take all that, rip it up, crumple it up, and throw it away. You see what I'm saying? You just need to understand that, because once you understand and once you believe that your outcomes are determined based on you and your actions, I'm telling you, now you got a grip of the steering wheel. Now you can start steering. You see what I'm saying? Because if you ain't even the one driving, how are you going to move yourself to the direction of being able to rise to the occasion and reach the levels that you're trying to reach? It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen, right? So please, understand the power that you have. Understand that it is a great power, especially as it relates to your life. We could start talking about those residual impacts that we have on other people's lives, but more so on yours. You have the power. You've already got the tools to be successful, right? Or at least to start being successful. You have the characteristics already to have that successful life that you want. Because notice what I told you is I said that we're going to set up your toolkit. We're going to set you up with the proper tools. You already got them. You already got them. Listen, my garage used to be like a mess, and I had a bunch of tools, you know what I'm saying? Nothing ever really, just every time I needed a tool, I would go out and buy it, right? But I never had no organization to the tool. And to tell you the truth, I could probably buy like a couple toolboxes, a tool chest to make it better. But the bottom line is that I couldn't find anything at one point. I had the tools to be able to do whatever it was I was going to do, right? Fix the sink. The thing is I couldn't find them. So that made that process so elongated. It made it so that something that could have taken me maybe an hour or two, it took me about 4 or 5 days because I looked for the tool, couldn't find it. I had to go buy another tool, came back, I was missing a piece for that. I mean, I'm telling you, it was all messed up. But had I taken that first step and took the tools that I needed and set them up first for the job that I was going to do, I would have been much more successful. I would have been much more successful, right? So that's what it is that we're going to do is I want you to be able to determine what are the tools that you need, and they're all within you, right? And those tools are internal locus of control, right? Because that's what's going to determine where it is that these outcomes are coming from, right? You're going to be able to say it's because of me, positive, negative, or indifferent. The outcome came from you, right? That's number one. We also need to find out what type of person are we as far as where's our motivation comes from. And if it's from, I don't want to fail, fine. But we need to start trying to pull that into, I want to win. Because I'm telling you, that's where the mind, body, and soul starts to perform at a level of excellence. All right? Listen, I gave you a whole lot, and I'm telling you this exercise, it's going to be difficult. I don't want you to focus on it and say, man, I'm a loser, or I can't do this, or nah, because that ain't what it is. You know why? Because losers ain't looking at what it is that they are not doing so well for an opportunity to improve. That's not what losers do. You see what I'm saying? Losers are just going to let it happen. You ain't a loser. We may have failed in some things, because remember, that's what a loser is going to call it. Fails. That's what the old us is going to call it, is that we failed. No. What we did was we were able to identify an area of an opportunity, right? Listen, words matter. Some people sit there and go, okay, that's semantics. No. Words matter because words carry energy. Energy is within us. There's no stopping energy. It just continues to move from one form or one source to another, right? So what we want to do is we want to be perpetuating that positive energy, right? Is that we did not fail. We found an area of an opportunity, and now our new task is going to be is to develop that area of opportunity, right? Once you determine reasons why you did not accomplish what you set out to do, now you can start implementing the controls to ensure that you can do what it is that you want to do, and you can prevent whatever that was from ever happening again, right? Listen, I'm super excited. Like I said, I welcome you all. I thank you for following me for the whole season 1. And listen, this season 2 is already starting off with a bang. You know what I'm saying? Message me, right? Send me some texts. Give me a call. Send me an email, whatever it is, right? Because that's how I know that we reaching the people that we need to be reaching. And I know that we perpetuating positivity. You got a story like the one I shared earlier about how it is that you perpetuating positivity? Share it, right? Either send me a message or send me the video. I'll post it right on this channel too. It don't matter to me, right? We a team. We a movement. You see what I'm saying? So listen, winners make it happen. Losers let it happen. My name is Pablo Rivera. I'm watching you, right? I'm watching you make it happen. But let's go. My name is Pablo Rivera. Watch me make it happen.
Only time to react. Your intuition under pressure weighing down on your back. I scribble thoughts in my palm. I sing it when I get home. Organize my inner visions while I'm chilling and calm. A politician's mind state, that means I'm nice on my space.